Hello, and you are welcome to another episode of the conversation on Prime Star TV, where we engage notable Nigerians and ordinary Nigerians, across all disciplines. My name is Gbero Adesina. Today, we are highly privileged to be speaking with a very notable Nigerian and Ibadan man. He is a prince in Ibadan land, and he is an astute politician. I am talking in respect of Prince Gbade Lana. And it is with Prince Gbade Lana that we will be sharing this moment together. Kindly stay tuned and ride with us. Prince Gbade Lana, it's good to have you on Conversation on Prime Star TV.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you again too. And congratulations on your PhD.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I don't know. This is a moment that we've just lost Olubadan. And so I think your way of doing that is Akwara Feraku.
Eshe.
But there's something that's very interesting about the traditional system. When a monarch, the Olubadan, when he dies, we'll see the city being factionalized into two. Some people are mourning and some people are rejoicing. Can you speak to that?
One of the attributes of Ibadan is a systematic arrangement before you become Olubadan. You go through almost 30-something steps from being Magaji to get to the top, which is the Olubadan. There is the administrative line, there is the military line. The administrative line is the Otun, the military line is the Balogun. So when we have an Olubadan that passes to go and join his ancestors, people will say Ibadan are Arikuyo.
Yes.
It's just because of that transition from the monarch that passed away to the new one. While some people are rejoicing that it's their turn, the other people are now mourning that they have lost a good one.
Okay.
So that's why you see the paradigm that Arikuyo, where some people are happy because now it's our turn to be
Oba, to be Olubadan, to produce a new Olubadan.
The new Olubadan. So that's it.
But let me ask you this. When you lost your father, Oba Odulana Gbade, and of course, the people from the other side were rejoicing, how did you feel?
Well, to be candid, I didn't feel anything. Because when the monarch that passed, Ogundipe passed on, before our father became Olubadan, it was expected, at least, that when one Olubadan passes, the next one is going to be the next in rank on the other side of the divide will become Olubadan. So when my father passed away, of course we know my father was old, so there was no mourning whatsoever. He became Olubadan at the age of 92, and he passed at the age of 101. So we expected that God will call him at the appropriate time. When God did, we felt it was time for him to go. So now the next battle went to Ogunisa.
Yes.
So I didn't feel anything because we knew our father was going to pass away. But it's only unfair that when you don't even have young Olubadan anyway, when you die below the age of 80, or you just spend about a few months on the throne, and then you pass on. It's not a happy thing. because you are dying young. Olubadans don't die young, but unfortunately, some of them don't spend more than like the past Olubadan, the immediate past Olubadan spent about a year. That was not even Senator Lekan Balogun of blessed memory spent about just 1.5 years. So the Ikuyo that was not, I'm sure the people who came to the throne were not happy that the Olubadan died young because they don't know what is going to happen to their own Olubadan too. So that's we didn't feel anything. We didn't feel bad. We didn't feel bad.
Yeah, another thing before we get into the main thing is that, of course, the tradition is that in Yoruba land, the oracle has to pick, oracle has to play its own function. But in the case of Ibadan, it's about succession. There's nothing like oracle speaking, you know. And so one wonders, or one may want to say that, you know, the tradition of Ibadan, is it in consonance with that Yoruba tradition in the true sense of it?
It is the most unique ascension to the throne system in Yoruba land because it does not engender any conflict whatsoever. I told you earlier on that we have about 32 steps or thereabout to get to Olubadan. Now we have Otun Olubadan becoming the new Olubadan. Baba that passed away was Balogun,
Yes.
Baba Olakuleyin. So it's so, the moment you get to, when you get to a certain Keda on the Olubadan land, that has become Ekaro Olubadan or Ekaro Balogun, you now go into the, not a caucus
Okay.
that make decisions for the Olubadan or with the Olubadan.
Okay.
So by the time you now become that, you get to that level, you know that you now have hope to become Olubadan. Everybody has hope, even from the Magaji, you hope that, but it's not everybody that gets to that stage where you become to Olubadan-in-Council. Olubadan-in-Council is the main thing.
Okay, and it starts from a canon.
It can start from a canon.
It starts from a canon.
Yes.
Olubadan.
Yes.
Okay.
Once you get to that stage, you now start hoping
Okay.
that one day
It may be your
it
turn.
may be my turn. So that's the unique part of it. You don't need to consult any oracle. You don't even go to court
Yes.
when it comes to the ascension to the throne of Olubadan. It's an aberration. What happened almost about 2 or 3 years ago was an aberration where some people went to court. It's very unlike Ibadan. But thank God, the wisdom of the elders in Ibadan prevailed. And everything was settled. Baba Olakuleyin became Olubadan.
You know what you just made a reference to. It's a main issue. I remember very well the position of your dad. You know, your dad was very rigid about this. You know, preserving the sanctity, the integrity of Ibadan traditional system. And I also remember very well that well, in quotes, the incoming Olubadan, who is Ladoja, the pinch tent with your dad. In fact, at a point when the governor succeeded, in having what we call the lesser Oba, if I'm correct, he described their crown, the crowns given to them as
Bali.
Pali. I want to quote him right. I don't want to be Oba Onipali, Ade Onipali. But eventually he also accepted, that Pali crown.
Baba Ladoja, like my father, very disciplined. He's a very disciplined man. And he believes in doing things the way they are supposed to be done. When my mentor, Governor Ajimobi, AbiolaAjimobi, gave crowns to those people, he was not very, very keen about it.
Okay.
Because he believed that the ultimate crown, the real crown, is the Olubadan crown.
Yes.
But because of the need to respect the Olubadan-in-Council, because we have been to occasions where lesser chiefs from other towns are allowed into those occasions, whereas people in the Olubadan-in-Council are told to go back because they are not yet
They
over.
are chiefs.
So that one of the things that propelled Governor AbiolaAjimobi, may his soul rest in peace,
Amen.
to do what he did. Now, at the end of the day, Baba Ladoja accepted because he saw it is the will of the people that they wanted him to do it. And he also saw that one day, that real crown will be on his head. Because without that, if he didn't follow that system, the hierarchical system,
yes, order.
there's no way he will get there. But thank God that he saw reason and people prevailed. Elders of Ibadan went to him and told him, your turn is, you are just about 2 steps away from being Olubadan. Please go and do. So people prevailed on him and he accepted, to the glory of God.
Now, do you believe that? Well, because that wasn't what your father fought, for. That wasn't what he stood for. Now, what your position now on that? Because now, I mean, the lesser of us, they are the one that will eventually become the Olubadan.
Yes.
They before they become Olubadan, they have put on one crown, which is not the way in Yoruba land.
Let's get it very straight.
Okay.
Now there are 11 local governments in Ibadan. And Kabiyesi, the Olubadan of Ibadan land, cannot oversee everything.
Okay.
And most of these local governments are 10 times bigger than other towns that they don't measure up in terms of economy, population, they don't measure up to these local governments. But the wisdom of our forefathers and the governors, the previous governors, the Olubadan-in-Council decided to allocate a local government to each of those in the Olubadan-in-Council.
Okay.
That way, they'll be able to oversee the place on behalf of Kabiyesi.
Okay.
So, the fact that they are now overseeing local governments that are far bigger than other towns, the local governments in Ibadan that are bigger than, I don't want to mention towns, I don't want to.
I understand, yes.
So because of that, it was appropriate. Let me give you an example. When my father went to Abuja to be given the CFR, the national award,
yes.
He went with 3 of his chiefs. No, 2, Baba Kuye of blessed memory, and Oba Lekan Balogun. When we got to the entrance, because they did not wear any crown, they didn't want them to go inside. And my father said, except to allow them to go inside, I will not go inside.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I will come to a question that you raised. That was when it came to the realization that Ibadan had to be respected. And those that are in charge of those local governments, which are far bigger than many, many towns, should also be Obas. So, talking of one crown before the other, will you say that some of these crowns in Ife land are as good as Kabiyesi, the Oni of Ife? No, it's not. There are also crowns, but there are lesser crowns. The main crown of Ibadan is the Olubadan crown.
All right, but now Oba Ladoja, then coming Ibadan, has just done something that is very interesting. He's not in town now.
Yes.
And one of the reasons, if I'm correct, is that he's not going to come to the town until after the morning of the immediate past Olubadan. What can you say to that?
Now, the Agbotikuyo thing, I'm sure he was responsible. He had a lot of respect for Baba Olakuleyin. I'm sure he will not be happy that people are rejoicing that a man that respected that much passed on. So that's one of the main reasons. He still has to go into 7 days seclusion after he becoming Olubadan. He still has to go. But the one has done, I think, is very commendable. It's a sign of respect so that they will not say as if he was too anxious to become Olubadan.
Yeah, he joined the mourners.
So I honestly respect Baba Ladoja for that. I respect him for that. Now, the other time you said my father was opposed to the crowning of the Olubadan-in-Council members. When he came back from Abuja and he saw the slight on his personality, because they did not want to allow Baba Kuye and Oba Lekan Balogun to go inside. They now constituted a committee. Baba Akinyele, may so rest in peace. Baba Shanu, may so rest in peace. I think Baba Oyero was also there, of prominent Ibadan, to go and study how that kind of event can be stopped, that should not reoccur. Now, after the submission of that committee, they now took it to AbiolaAjimobi, and he saw reasons. But before my father could implement it, he had passed on.
Okay.
Baba Ogunishan now became Olubadan. And he had a different opinion about it.
Okay.
But he didn't have a choice because the governor had the right to moderate on any system.
Okay.
So no, he doesn't have any right to intervene.
Okay.
But he has the right to adjudicate, So when he saw my father's idea, he saw it as being the right thing. But Baba Ogungunison had a different opinion. But the governor at the end of the day had his way. That's why we came about this.
Because of the sympathy of the people.
Yes, because he felt it's a slat on Ibadan. That not allow his senior chiefs to come in when people don't have those domain are so small. You allow them into Abuja Conference Center, International Conference Center. So that was why he started that committee. And the committee came up with that proposal and took it to Governor Ajimobi, who saw reason in it and implemented it. But some people were not happy with it, but it has come to stay. And I have no regret at all.
It's wonderful.
It is
if Baba had lived longer,
he would have implemented it.
Okay. We would have seen to the implementation of
the recommendation of that committee, yes.
Okay. We appreciate if you can actually tell us about your background, your childhood, your growing up in the palace.
Let me quickly correct you.
Okay.
I didn't grow up in the palace.
Okay.
I grew up as a normal human being, as a young man. As a matter of fact, my father was not very rich.
Was not very rich?
Was not. When we were born,
okay,
we were living in a mud house. Yes, I say that.
But because I think he was a minister.
I'm coming to that. I was born in 1949. We are talking about 76 years ago. He was not a minister at that time. At that time, he came back from the army and became a teacher. He worked in the Ministry of Education. And he had a bicycle that he used to ride to work. So he was not an affluent person at all. So we grew up as children grew up.
Normal.
From the ashes, so to say. And when I was born, 76 years ago, as a normal child, I went to the closest school to our house, which is IDC Ladoni, because we were from Ladoni compound.
Okay. Where is that in Ibadan?
That's in Ibadan, not East Ibadan, East LCDA.
Okay.
It's not far from, it's around Arima Jagbo axis.
Okay.
Ladoni compound. So I went to that school, which was, of course, public school.
Mm-hmm.
But before I entered, they made sure that my hand was able to touch my hair.
As usual.
As usual in those days. Because if your hand didn't touch your hair, you will not be admitted. So I started primary school in 1956. And to the glory of God, I ended primary school in 1960. After that, I was given admission to St. Gregory's College in Lagos.
Okay.
By that time, by the time we were growing, my father joined politics. By the time we were growing up. And I used to see people coming to his house, so many people coming to do meetings, but I didn't quite understand what they were doing. Now, from the mud house, he built a house which was not far from where we were born, which was a modern house.
Okay. With bricks.
With bricks. No, not bricks, with mud. But he cemented it and he made it. I can remember the Hausa people throwing the mud up. I remember very well as a child. Because it was a very nice thing, you know. Since some people using hoe to throw mud.
In building the house.
Building the house. Honestly, I remember that very well. But he cemented it and made it modern of that time. So, when I came back from school, I saw we had moved to that new house.
Okay.
That when I came back for holidays from St. Gregory's College, and we started, you know, enjoying affluence, in quotes.
As far back as when?
As far back as 1962.
Okay.
Before he even became minister at all.
Okay.
We started enjoying affluence because we had shoes. We didn't have shoes. That's the thing. We didn't have shoes when we were going to primary school now.
But now you have shoes.
We had shoes then, not like Jonathan.
That's a good reference.
So we had shoes, we had uniform was okay. By 1966, when I left St. Gregory's College, I came to Lola College to do my higher school certificate. HSC. In 1967. And I finished in 1968. Between that time and the time I got admission to University of Ibadan, 1969, I taught as a teacher, Gbade Anglican Grammar School. Gbade Anglican Grammar School.
Okay, close to Ife.
On the way to Ife.
Okay.
No, it was still old Oyo, the big Oyo. And I started university education in 1969. I went for BSc in sociology.
Okay.
And to the glory of
Which
God,
school?
University of Ibadan.
Oh, okay.
The best of them all, you know. It's the premier university in Nigeria now. I don't care what anybody says. No, it's still the best.
Thank God the alumni of our university is not there. I mean,
let them be here. They will know, but the Obafemi university is an offshoot of University of Ibadan now. I remember
that it is the Oba of the university, of Nigerian university.
Maybe they are thinking now.
Okay.
I remember when I was in UI, their satellite campus was at Polytechnic.
Yes. Of OAU.
Yes.
Okay.
I remember that very well. So it's an upswing of University of Ibadan. So Ibadan is still the father of them all.
Like you said, it's a satellite campus of OAU.
I don't know. You are saying that. So I finished University of Ibadan in 1972.
Okay.
With my BSc in sociology. And by that time, my father had become parliamentary secretary to Tafawa Balewa before he became Minister of State in the Ministry of Labour. But his political ambition was truncated in 1966 with the coup.
Okay.
So, but that did not truncate our own education. But he gave all of us the best of education. So when I finished that, University of Ibadan, I started work at Ministry of Labour.
Okay, Federal
Ministry of Labour in Lagos, at the Independence Building, as Labour Officer 2.
Okay.
But because of our ambition to go further in education, I sought admission for a master's program at Roosevelt University in Chicago, in Lagos. In the US.
Okay.
Chicago.
Okay.
In the US. I was given admission and I started my MBA program.
Okay.
I left Nigeria in 1972.
Okay. For MBA.
For MBA.
Okay.
And to the glory of God, I completed the education and But I worked for some time
Over there,
over
in
there.
US.
Even as I was going to school, I was working. So I was able to supplement whatever my parents were sending to me in the US. So I came back in 1977 after I lost my wife in the US.
In US, oh, okay.
I came back with my 2 children.
Your first wife.
Yeah. And there and then I made up my mind I was not going to work for any government. So I started hustling on my own, doing business, so to say, getting contracts here and there. I decided that I had to float my own company,
Okay.
construction company, R&G Construction Nigeria Limited.
R
and G.
and G, okay.
My partner was Remy, I was Gbade. Remy and Gbade Construction and Commercial Nigeria Limited.
Who is Remy?
He's late now. My friend. We were very close friends.
All right, okay.
And we were patronized by the government. We did some outstanding constructions in the old Oyo State. After that, I joined politics in 1990. Contested as councillor in 1991 under the SDP platform. The primary I won, but the powers that be at that time wanted somebody who was not as educated as I was to be councillor. They thought my MBA was too much to be councillor. So, but I didn't relent. Up to today, I'm still a politician.
Okay.
But I have some other businesses. Aside from being construction businesses, I have a bakery project, bakery farm I've been doing for almost 15 years now.
In Ibadan, yeah.
In like the local government.
Okay.
Ladukwan. I have my bakery farm there.
Okay.
So that's the story of my life. You know.
Now, let me ask this. The influence of your father, the value it has on your upbringing, the influence of your father, the value it has on your upbringing.
Tremendous. That tremendous influence on all of us. One, because he was educated, he made sure that we were all educated. And along with that, he taught us to respect people. Our upbringing was so that it was so disciplined that if you made a mistake, he would wallop you.
Wow.
I'm telling you, he didn't compromise discipline. He did not at all. And one of the things that endeared me to him later in life was that what I thought what he was punishing me for, and I realized he was grooming me to be a better person. Honestly, it had tremendous influence on me or whatever I've become today. Now, my political journey started because he was in politics. When I came back from the US, I used to accompany him on campaign. I was watching the way we would go on the table, and there was no campaigning people to people between here and Ogbomoso. He did that, and I started having interest in politics.
Okay.
And that's another influence that I can say it had on me.
Okay.
Whatever I am in politics today, to the glory of God, is through my father.
Let me quickly ask this. What's your political philosophy?
Helping people.
Helping people.
Yeah. That's why I'm a progressive to the core. I've never departed from being a progressive. And in the progressive line, you have to help people.
Okay.
And he was in NPN.
Okay.
At the time we differed. What is NPN? I was in UPN. Yes.
And he allowed that?
He did.
And there wasn't any trouble?
No. There were the days of NRC and SDP. He was in NRC, I was in SDP. He allowed me to contest under SDP when he was in NRC.
Wow.
I'm telling you, that's the truth.
And he wasn't complaining.
He didn't. I mean, he was so liberal in terms of he wanted to do your thing the way it is, but don't. There are certain lines you cannot cross. That you cannot disrespect people. Respect people for who they are, and he taught us not to be arrogant. You know, so he had a lot of respect on me, and just as he did on all the other
Children.
9 children.
9?
Yes, we were 10.
Okay, Baba had 9 children.
10.
10?
Yeah.
How many female?
5 females, 5 males.
What is your own position among the 10?
Okay. My mother was the first wife.
Okay. What is her name?
Deborah Lakbima Lana.
Okay.
And I was the third.
Okay.
My senior brother, Professor Femi Lana.
Mm-hmm.
My older sister, Professor Yemisi Shomi. I'm the third. I have a younger sister who is Mrs. Folashade Bankole. A younger brother, Prince Jide Lana. Okay. Those are from my mother.
Side.
Now the other side, the Olori Rike Lana.
Okay. She
has 3 females and 2 males. So I'm number 3 among the 10.
That's quite interesting. That's quite interesting. Can you recall the last moment you had with Baba before he died?
No. It was by the time Baba became Olubadan at the age of 91 or 92. He was very, very active until he was about 100 years. By the time we did the 100 years birthday, he started physically going down. That accompanied the way he was also thinking. By the time he became 101, we had to be moving him because he couldn't walk anymore. Now, 3 weeks before he passed on, he barely talked. So, saying what was my last encounter with him would have been about 2 months, 3 months before he passed on, in which he was always, how are you doing? How are your children? How is your wife? He asked about the welfare of my family. That was my last encounter, and when who he was before he became bedridden.
Okay. Okay. If not because he lost his wife, or can we describe him as a polygamous wife? I mean, man.
Yes, he was. My mother didn't die
before he married.
No, he married the second one in 1970.
Okay.
He was polygamous.
He wanted to marry the second wife,
Yes.
and he married the second
Yes.
wife. Wow.
And I must say that honestly, there are some things that we as Yorubas think are aberrations.
Okay.
My mom passed on in the year 2000. If my father had not had a second wife, how would he have been able to cope? The second Olori was a nurse. So that helped a great deal. She took good care of Kabiyesi. And to that I give her all the, I praise her all the time for that. Because having a second wife, yeah, a Christian, you are not supposed to. But in the tradition, I don't see anything that is wrong in it.
Okay.
I'm only afraid of it because of my Christian
life background.
Yeah. And there are some things in polygamy that you don't want, that will discourage you from even marrying a second wife.
Okay.
One of those are some of the things that are prohibiting some of us from trying to have a second wife.
Can you share your experience on that?
Yeah, a lot. I have a lot of experience. Where there's mistrust between your mother-in-law, your stepmother, and yourself. Where there's mistrust between the siblings of one mother and the other mother. My father tried to, he managed it, but he didn't actually, he didn't succeed 100%. He tried very well to make sure that we were all united before he died.
But it didn't work.
It worked. It worked to a large extent. It worked, but there's still some skirmishes here and there. You know.
What was your first political appointment? Under which political party?
Thank you. Today I started politics in 1999.
Yeah. You were introduced into it by your dad.
Yes.
Yes.
But I joined the progressive SDP.
Okay.
From there, we started AD.
Okay.
AD to ACN, ACN to AC to ANPP.
Okay.
Before we now started with APC. I joined Governor AbiolaAjimobi when he wanted to become the governor. We were not very close when he contested for Senate because he just came from nowhere, from the corporate world, and was hosted on us. we backed another aspirant, but at the end of the day, it was the powers that be
Posted for you. Maybe he had money.
I don't know. Well, yeah, of course he had money now. Ajimobi was not poor at all. He was not. By any standard, he was a very, very rich man. So I don't know. I'm not saying he bought his way, don't get me wrong. But he maneuvered his way and became the senator, the only AD senator in Oyo State at that time.
Okay. Others were from other
They're
political parties.
from the other political party. So in 2011, when he became governor, he invited me to be the chairman of Oyo State Library Board. That was my first political. I think that's where our roads, our paths crossed.
Yes.
So, as a chairman of the board at that time, I was doing my work earnestly.
It was a boring place.
Come again?
It was a boring place for you.
Well, boring. Yes, and of course, there was no money to it.
Yeah.
We were just doing a board meeting when somebody called one of my boys and said, your guy's name has been mentioned in House of Assembly to become a commissioner. I say, me? Commissioner? So all of us at the board meeting, we waited until BCS News. And there it was, my name was mentioned. I also said House of Assembly as a commissioner.
Commissioner nominee? Or?
Nominee.
Okay.
So we had to go to the House of Assembly for screening and clearance. I was just told to take a bow.
Okay.
Because they read my CV and they said, I was qualified to. That's one reason why I cannot forget my father. He gave us the best of education, the best. And when we were called, at least at my own time, I was applauded. When somebody was reading my CV, all the members of the House of Assembly were clapping. Just Senator Masura just said, please, Prince, take a bow. And I took a bow.
Without any question?
No question whatsoever. And after I completed my assignment as a commissioner.
Commissioner for what?
Information.
When was that?
2011, 2013.
Okay, all right, okay. That's under Ajimobi?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
After I completed my assignment as commissioner, he always asked us what we wanted. And I told him, well, my father once told me, I want to monitor your progress in politics. So start from the local government level. But as God would have it, I started from the state level.
The top.
Thank God he was still alive when I was given the commissionership position. And when I was appointed the caretaker chairman of Ibadan East LCDA by the same Governor AbiolaAjimobi. I was there for a year before we contested the election. To the glory of God, we won the election. And before we were booted out by Governor SeyiMakinde. And I thank God that the Supreme Court reinstated us and we got all our rights.
Okay.
No, that he paid everything that he owed us.
Okay. At least for the very first time, I'm getting that clarity that because I think there were problems around that time.
We approached Supreme Court. We approached Supreme Court after about 3 or 4 years. Supreme Court now said we should be reinstated.
Okay.
But because of the political climate at that time,
Event has
overtaking that restraint. So he just said they should pay us off.
and he did. As a commissioner and as a local government chairman, what were the things that you can point to that were your achievements and how you touched people's life?
Well, I didn't achieve much as a commissioner because all I had to do was just report government activities and governors' activities. So there was no way I could impact on people than just giving them up-to-date information about government and governors' activities. Of course, he also had SSA for information and public enlightenment, But as a chairman, to the glory of God, when I told him I wanted to be, he said, yeah, I think you will do well there. And I did well, to the glory. He gave us a free hand.
That's Ajimobi.
He gave us a free hand. Our allocation, he gave to us.
Your allocation?
He gave every chairman his allocation. We had what we call meeting, fact meeting, where we all sat down to decide we were going to spend our money. He did not teleguide us as well we were going to spend our money.
Sorry, before you go further.
Yes.
The impression we have is that the governors, they don't release these allocations to the local government.
Ajimobi, that's not true. Ajimobi did not do that.
As the allocations were coming from the top,
they came to the state.
They came to the state.
Then we pass it on to local government.
Without removing one naira.
No, not one kobo.
Without removing one naira.
Please go and ask everybody during my own tenure. We sat down together and decided how we were going to spend the money. The only thing that we all agreed was we had to pay the teacher's salary. Every other thing did not meddle. We would advise you, I think you should do this, you should do that. We would only advise. We would not force anything on you. My achievements were so much. I constructed about 5 roads in my 2 years. I graded so many roads. I influenced the construction of a modern health facility to my LCDA. Recently, Senator Kharafa Adinali went and gave some things to that health facility.
Okay.
Honestly, I impacted on people's lives.
Okay.
At that time, you don't hear of any corpses on the road. Okay. We cleared gutters, we did everything. Not unlike now when you don't see the impact. I did so many roads. I refurbished at least three primary schools and 2 secondary schools at Ayekale. So
honestly, this is quite surprising because honestly, I mean, if not you telling me this, which would have been very difficult for me to believe. In fact, with what we are seeing now, I mean, particularly when it comes to, I mean, you know that people are now agitating for local government autonomy and all of this. And it is because of the fact that we believed that the governor, is relatively, mismanaging the funds that, are meant for local government. But you're changing the narrative.
I'm not. During the time of Governor AbiolaAjimobi,
yes,
he did not confiscate our money. He gave us our money and we did projects with it. The present governor, like other, is not the only one. Most of them, because of the largesse they are enjoying. When you are talking of local government allocation, it's a lot. But they refuse to let it go down to the local governments. They went to try and stop it at the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court notified their case and said that local government should have autonomy. Up to today, one way or the other, governors are still blocking it.
Yes.
It's not only our governor, it's all the governors.
Okay. Whether APC, whether
most of them are blocking it.
So why do you think they are taking that position, that hard position?
See, they want to use the money the way they want to use it. They don't want to entrust local government with that humongous amount of money. And it's not their right to tamper with local government allocation. It's not. The people of the local government will feel better. They will enjoy the best of the course better if these governors release their money directly to them. Please go and ask the 4 years that so I did 2 years. People before me did 2 years. Ajimobi did 8 years. I cannot talk of before, but when we did our own, it did not influence our money.
Wow.
But now I don't know why why the governors are bent on not allowing the local government to function. Honestly, it's an aberration to our constitution. And I just hope that one day they'll see reason.
All right, let me ask you before we leave that. What are the reforms that you think should happen at the local government level? The reforms that you think should be carried out when we're talking about local government?
Honestly, since we have 3 tiers of government, each of them is supposed to be independent of each other.
Okay.
A local government knows the peculiar nature of its local government. The chairman will know the peculiar nature of his own local government. So that would be his dilemma to go and solve those problems. I don't think there's any reform that I want done. Release that money straight to the local government, let them function. There's no way that, yes, we will have some people who may mismanage the money, but EFCC is there to deal with them later. But I'm sure that 80% out of 100 will not mismanage that money. They will use that money to the betterment of their local government.
Are you still in politics?
Oh yeah. Right now.
See?
I mean, of course now. I'm a progressive.
What is the chance come 2027?
May God spare our lives. We are working assiduously to make sure that our party regains power in 2027. And I believe God that APC will come back to power in Oyo State in 2027.
People talk about the fact that Nigerians are hungry because of the policies being implemented by APC at the national level. What do you have to say to that?
Honestly, ask the governors. Because the money that the governors are getting are 4 times more than what they got during the Buhari regime. What are they doing with the money? The federal government cannot come and start doing farming for you in your state. The federal cannot come and start doing roads that you are supposed to do in your state. When the governors are mismanaging this money, why people not be hungry? It's not stop blaming the federal government. Start asking governors questions. What are you doing with the money that is coming from the federal? It's so painful that you hear the amount of money coming to each state, it's about 2 billion, 3 billion, and yet don't have much to show for it. For example, our governor promised that he even got a loan. Our own governor, SeyiMakinde, got a loan for Agric. We didn't see anything at Iruwa, nothing to show for it. Nothing. I was in Iruwa a few days ago, and I went to Gbade. Nothing. The one at Fashola, he has even privatized some things there.
Oh, okay. The settlement.
Yes, he has privatized some things there. So where is the money that was meant for Agric that would have solved food problem for your state? It's so unfortunate that if you go from here to Igbora, go from here to I was at Tishi, I saw the vast land, vast. Instead of saying you are going to bring maize from somewhere, let's cultivate our own maize here. But we don't know where the money has gone. So you don't stop blaming the federal government for everything. Let's start blaming the government. Let's start asking governors, where is our money? What are you using this money for?
What is your take regarding the development by Governor SeyiMakinde? Now we have Agbotikuyo being, taken over. Ecologically, what do you think is the effect of some of this development that the government is talking about or is carrying out?
I don't want to be seen as an antagonist of this government.
Yeah, but you are.
But the truth is, he's just grabbing land, developing for rich people, and buying the lands from him. He's constructing markets that are beyond the reach of ordinary Nigerians. Go to Oro, go to and along the express here, Jonku, where you have to come and pay 4 million for a shop. Where did they want young people to get that kind of money? I think Governor SeyiMakinde should stop all this. He wants to build a name to say when he was there, he modernized Oyo State by destroying our markets. He destroyed the market in my area a few weeks ago at Akobo here. They have not started anything on it. Those who are making money have been disenfranchised financially. So I think we should just ask him to do the needful. Face hunger. The money that you have the loan that you got. What have we got to show for it now? We should not have any reason whatsoever to be buying rice in Oyo State from importing rice. When I went to Ibadan, I saw a vast amount of land. People were cultivating cassava. Why not use that money? Get thousands of acres of land and start cassava processing. I don't know.
Are you aspiring for anything in 2027?
No, I'm not contesting. I'm too old to contest.
Okay.
We have to leave the room for the younger ones.
Okay.
But we are grooming them.
Okay.
So I'm not contesting any political post at all.
On the last note, what is your advice for Nigerians towards 2027 election?
Well, as a politician, if anybody is not saying what Tinubu is doing now, then the person is blind.
If anybody is not
seeing the progress Tinubu has brought to the economy now, then the person is blind. We were in serious debt before he came in. We were using 97% of our income to service debt. It has been reduced to 50%. Our children now have loans to finance their education. So that your child, my child will not say, because I don't have money, I cannot go to the tertiary institution. Look at the roads that is building across the nations. I would want to say that APC should continue at the federal level in 2027. And that by the grace of God, 2027, APC will come back to power in Oyo State. Thank you very much.
Praise Gbade Lana. Thank you very much.
I appreciate you so much.
It's an absolute great pleasure having this conversation with you.
Thank you very much.
Well, viewers, this is the end of our conversation, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. If you do, please like our videos, share and make comments, subscribe until we come your way again, which is goodbye.